Hello everybody, I'm Ian Barnes and this is my presentation for International Perspectives on Educational Reform. So as I said, my name's Ian Barnes and I'm the principal of the PYP section at Concordia International School, Ningbo, and we are a candidate school for the IB Primary Years Programme. Our school aligns most closely with Type B, Ideological International School, meaning that we focus on inquiry-based learning, global-mindedness, and skill development, rather than a rigid national curriculum that I'm sure all of you have experienced before. However, as we focus and work towards our PYP authorization, we do face a key challenge. And that key challenge is that most of our teachers are new to the IB framework. Many initially defaulted to content-heavy, topic-based unit planning rather than embracing concept-based inquiry and approaches to learning skills. So the reform that I'm going to go through here aims to shift teacher mindsets and embed ATL skills as the foundation of learning in our school. Here in these pictures, you can see at the bottom, we've got the kindergarten team, which is a much bigger team, but still within the PYP section. They have 4 members per classroom. And then above there, we've got the international primary section, which is much smaller with the homeroom team and the specialist teachers as well. So hopefully during this presentation, we're going to look at the reform process, the distributed leadership approach used to enact the change, and implications for the school leadership. So now we're going to look at the reform itself and the problem it seeks to address. Our reform centers on transitioning from a content-driven approach to one where the ATL skills drive the student learning. The problem this reform addresses is the one with the teachers being unfamiliar with IB methodology, often meaning that what they do is they fall back on traditional topic-based unit planning. While this does provide structure to the content and the learning that they're doing, it limits student agency, student inquiry, and the skill development which we want them to be focusing on from an IB perspective, but also we think that they are crucial in an AI-driven world where content memorization is less valuable than critical thinking, adaptability, and problem-solving skills. So this reform, therefore, seeks to embed the ATL skills as the foundation for learning across not just the units of inquiry, but across the discrete subjects as they're taught within the curriculum at the school as well. We also seek to support teachers in shifting from this content-first approach to create an inquiry-first mindset. And we want to develop a culture of professional collaboration, which also aligns with the IB philosophy. The IB are continually focusing on the importance of collaboration and agency across all of their works. Conceptual lens is distributed leadership and selected evidence. To enact this reform, I applied the distributed leadership model as outlined by Harris 2014. The key concept driving this investigation is distributed leadership, which fosters collaboration, professional agency, and shared responsibility in implementing IB pedagogy. Why distributed leadership? Well, rather than enforcing change top-down, this approach engages teachers as co-leaders in the transition. It encourages professional dialogue, shared decision-making, and ownership of the reform, and also aligns with the IB's collaborative approach to teaching and learning. The evidence that we are going to look for analysis to see how the reform is working is, firstly, we're going to look at professional experience, so observing how the teachers adapt to the IB pedagogy in their planning and collaborative sessions. And also we're going to have the teachers doing reflections themselves and track the shifts in teacher understanding of ATL skills in inquiry cycles. These sources provide practical insights into how teachers engage with the reform and what leadership strategies can help to support the change. How's the reform unfolded? The challenges and successes that I'm going to outline here. Challenges, we've encountered a few challenges. Firstly, teacher resistance. A lot of the teachers are qualified from one country or another and they're used to a certain system. They have almost no IB experience at all between the staff, so it's new to a lot of them. So many of them initially struggled to shift from the structured content delivery to student-led inquiry. There's also been the challenge of the professional learning curve itself. Adjusting to new planning models required opening support and scaffolding, and part of that was we used Toddle as a platform to help us do the planning too. So they had to learn how to do that, and the structural constraints as well. So adapting existing timetables and school structures to accommodate inquiry-based learning and to accommodate collaborative planning sessions, which were needed throughout the day as well. The things that have worked so far have been the collaborative planning. So the teachers have adapted to the concept of that quite quickly, co-developing units with ATL skills aimed at the core alongside the central idea. Peer-led professional development, so our more experienced staff and early adopters have been able to support colleagues through some mentoring and modeling sessions as well as through the collaborative sessions, and increased student agency. In classrooms where teachers fully embraced ATL skills, students have shown greater independence and engagement in their learning too. So by embedding distributed leadership, we saw more teachers actively engaged in the reform rather than passively receiving directives. Finally, we have our leadership implications and next steps. My key leadership insights have been the need for sustained professional development. This is a long-term project to shift teacher mindsets, and not just shift our current teachers' mindsets, but also any new ones who come in. In fact, we've had some teacher turnover already since we've been doing this, so we need to sustain this in the longer term. One of the ways that we can do that is through building a professional learning community, which will help us in strengthening collaboration and knowledge sharing amongst that community. And we also need to think about leading through influence, not authority. Thinking about distributed leadership requires the fostering of ownership and motivation rather than imposing change on people, enabling the teachers to think critically about their own role and how they can improve that and develop their approach to the ATL skills rather than just simply telling them what to do. And the next steps for the reform will be to continue mentoring teachers and refining professional development strategies, to strengthen the collaborative structures within the school, so to ensure IB alignment beyond authorization, whether that's timetabled in collaborative structures or just improving the communication links between different specialist departments and the homeroom departments and so on. And the use of ongoing teacher feedback and classroom observations to track the impact and refine implementation strategies. This reform is not just about getting IB authorization done. What we're trying to do here is build a lasting culture of inquiry, reflection, and student agency. So, very much, and I look forward to any feedback or questions.